When should you use Agile? Many leaders have come to me in the past and said, hey, I want to do Agile everywhere in all of my teams, right? And this might be either because they're enthusiastic about Agile and they want to try it in all of the teams, and they're excited about what other people have told them about Agile. Or it could also be because they've got some pressure from their leader, for instance, and they said, look, we need to have Agile in all of our teams. And the first thing I like to discuss with these leaders is really the question about why you want to do Agile. What do we want to get out of it? And what is it best suited for? Because Agile isn't necessarily suited for all types of work. So here's an example I'd like to just to illustrate this. So think about a hamburger that you order at a fast food chain. When you go in, you already know what you want because you've ordered this burger in the past, right? So you know the size of the burger, you know what's in the burger, the ingredients. So you know in advance how or what you want in your burger. And secondly, the restaurant also knows everything there is to know about that burger, right? They know precisely what ingredients they need to put in the burger and the steps required to actually make this burger. Those are always the same. So as a restaurant, we know how to make this burger, right? And we've done it many times before. So we can replicate it, and we can even know precisely, maybe to the second, how long it takes to make a burger. And the third thing to take away is a burger is a very tangible thing, right? So we're dealing with physical things, right? Ingredients, right? They're tangible. You can taste the burger. You can see the burger. It's a tangible thing, a burger. Now, in our next scenario, I wanted you to think about the burger, but I want you to think about it in a slightly different way. So let's imagine that there's an ad company, and they're working with the burger company to come up with a new ad campaign for this burger. And this campaign might span several channels. It might include television, it might include radio, it might include social media, right? So it's going to be all over the place, right? And so when I'm this burger company and I come to this ad agency, I usually come up with a brief, right? I'll say, this is what we need, right? But actually, in reality, the company may actually not know what they need, right? Because they've never seen this ad, they've never worked with this ad company before. They may have not worked with these mediums before, and they may actually not know what they need until they see it. Okay, so the important part here is the customer doesn't necessarily know what they want before they start. And similarly, the people who are building the ad campaign, right? They don't necessarily know what the customer wants, or maybe they've never worked with hamburgers before, or this business area, or whatever, right? So there's a lot of unknowns in terms of how to build it. And if you compare that to the burger, they can't estimate down to the second exactly how long everything will take, because it depends, it changes, and everything's different. And the third thing to take away is the work, the outputs that come out of this are relatively intangible. We might come up with ideas. There might be media that comes out, right? Be an advertisement, etc. Right? So it's not a physical component, not necessarily a physical component, like the hamburger, right? So taking these two scenarios, so this is the burger and then the ad campaign for the burger. This is you can kind of fit these on a spectrum, right? On the left side of the spectrum is what we call an assembly line mentality, right? Because we're actually taking this burger and following a bunch of steps or process, as some people will call it, to actually build this burger. And on the right side is what we call knowledge work, right? So this is kind of where we're dealing with creative people, we're dealing with a team of professionals coming up with work, and also there's a lot of unknowns, right? So even as a customer or a client, or even as the people working on the ad campaign, they don't have an equal understanding, or they might not know precisely how this thing's all going to fit together until they actually start doing the work, right? And the difference between the two is, on the left, as I'm making the burger, there's not much learning happening, right? I already know how to make this burger. I don't need to learn anything new to make another burger, right? That's the important part there. Whereas on the right, we're still dealing with burgers, except we're advertising burgers. But as we give our client drafts of our campaign or concepts, we learn if the client likes it or they don't like it, right? And from that we can iterate and change, right? We don't just go through and put out this campaign after the brief have this thing kind of go all the way through, right? So that's the key difference as well. It's something where there's a lot of unknowns we need to get through. I like to use this continuum because, work is all different, and some work will fit more on the left side, more on the assembly line side of things, and some will kind of fit more on the right, which is more the knowledge side of things, and some will kind of be in the middle. And so as a leader, I think it's important that we understand, where work should fit. And if it's more on the right side of things, then that's really a great example of where Agile really fits the most. And where it's more on the left side, perhaps Agile isn't necessarily the right approach to actually look at this work. So how does Agile help us with this, knowledge work type of scenario? Well, the first thing it does is we address the part where, the customer may not know precisely what they need with regular delivery, right? So on a regular basis, it's up to the team to come up with what they've done so far, so they can actually get feedback from our customers, right? So they can actually say, I like this or I don't like this, so that as we go forward, we can change, right? Or even the customer might say, I wanted you to keep going, but actually I see this is probably enough for us to go with. So let's just run with this, right? So the first part is building trust between the customer and the team, right? Through regularly showing, what we're doing. Working outcomes is what we like to call it. The second thing that we do is the team will also reflect. So the team generally has an event called the retrospective. And in the retrospective, the team should actually work together and collaborate about what went well and what really needs to be changed for the next iteration, right? So the next period where we actually deliver outcomes for our customer. And every iteration as well, we should be actually taking improvements in. So either from what we heard from our customer or from any of the challenges we had actually putting the work together. So in the ad campaign, maybe we had some problems with the radio campaign that we don't want to actually repeat again. So we're going to change how we do things for the next iteration of work. So that's really, in a nutshell, how Agile helps with that. And there's a lot of things which I'll talk about in some other videos where we're to support that behavior, but essentially that's it, is actually providing working outcomes regularly to our customers and getting that feedback so we can change in the future. And also reflection as a team so that we can improve as we go along. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you understand that there are different types of work, and some types of work are better suited to Agile than others. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We have another video called What is Leadership Agility, which you can try out as well and just figure out what it actually means to be a leader in an Agile world. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you next time.